What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day out there today. Guys, we're going to do a little shop time. Haven't done a shop time video in quite some time. I actually got a number of broken cars after the last couple bashes. Many of you guys watch the videos. Let's see. First, we got the Techno, the ET48 2.0. Any guys that watched the motocross bash with this thing was phenomenal. Seemed like everything held up great. At the end of the run, popped the lid open and ended up blowing apart the front bulkhead. What happened was the screws that tie in the top steering mount ripped out of the top of the bulkhead, broke both the screws off, and also broke one of the rear shock ends. So got the parts in for that. Also, the Typhon 6S skate park bash on this thing last time. First jump out there, ended up breaking probably the rear pin, I'm thinking, and the rear differential. We're going to pull the rear diff out of that, get that thing fixed up. And then also on that same bash, we had the Creighton 6S XL out there. Having a ton of fun with this thing, launching off the trees. Off camera, when I was done recording that day, I was trying to hit that tree full speed and ended up sending it directly in between the fence and the tree and just ripped the pillow ball out of here. Hopefully, it'll thread back in there. We'll see how she goes in there. Hopefully, I can just put it back together. Might be an easy fix. Might have to change the A-arm, but who knows. But guys, we're going to do a little work here in shop, so stay tuned, everybody. Also received some M2C goodies in the mail here. They're putting together a whole bunch of the center brace ends for the 8S line, for all your connecting pieces on the 8S line, also your 6S line, and also whenever you do the carbon fiber modification to the center brace, you do the carbon fiber tube over top of the aluminum center brace. They're also making these now to accommodate that, so they slide over. They're very nice put together, got the washers, O-rings in there. I got to get some carbon fiber tubes. I don't have any at the moment to do this particular end, but I'm going to order some. But we might change out some of these ends on at least the 6S cars for now, but let's get working. All right, well, we're going to hopefully start with the easiest part here first with the Creighton XL. I'm going to get this pillow ball threaded back into the A-arm, see how that goes. Also ripped apart my front 3D RC bumper support here, bumper mount. Also snapped off all the screws out of the aluminum part, which is kind of impressive. So I'm going to get that changed. I'm not going to bore you guys sitting here going along the whole time with everything, but I'm going to go get this stuff swapped out and let you know how she came out. All right, well, the Creighton XL, I think, is all fixed up. I went over everything. We got the pillow ball threaded back in there, and she actually tightened up really good. Not sure how that came out. I did, however, put a few drops of super glue in there in case some of the earlier threads were started to pull out. But everything at the very end of it looked good. And like I said, I tightened it up with the drill, and she snugged up really well. So did that, went ahead and replaced the bumper guard, or bumper support, or bumper cushion, or whatever you want to call the thing. Got that replaced and all the screws. Checked over everything else. I had a few other loose screws here on my side guards, replaced those. And everything else feels pretty good. I think everything else is pretty tight. So I think the Creighton XL is ready to roll. So let's move on to the next one. Well, the next candidate is the Typhon 6S. She was out there flying great, even with just front-wheel drive. I was impressed, honestly. I didn't think I was going to be able to get very good jumps out of that thing, and she took a beating off of that massive vert ramp. But this is what's going on. As you can see, I'm guessing since the drive shaft is spinning, that it's the pin inside the differential, most likely, or it maybe blew apart that sun gear in there. Who knows? I'm going to go ahead and pull the diff out, see what's going on, and I'll let you guys know and see what broke. All right, we got the rear diff pulled out of here, and still got my shims on, and yeah. Oh, so it didn't just break, so I can get to the focus a little bit better. It didn't break the pin, it sheared off the whole end of the drive cup. Well, that doesn't happen too often, but I guess she took some torque on that one. So I'm gonna go and open up the diff. Luckily, it's on the gear side, so I don't have to pull everything else apart. So I'm going to I hope I have another one of these. I have so many of the EXB ones, but I don't have the normal ones, but cross my fingers. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any of the regular input cups. All I have are the EXB style ones. So, however, I do have a whole entire differential. I had ordered an extra one from Jenny's RC. It was like, I don't know, 20 bucks or 22 bucks or something like that. So I'm just going to pull the whole rear diff out of here and slap it in there. I'm running the aluminum hot racing diff case on this car, so I am going to remove the diff from the plastic one here, but let's change out the whole thing. All right, well, the Typhon's got a brand new differential in there, got everything all tightened up, all back together again. Went over the rest of the car, found some other miscellaneous screws that were loose. These chassis braces, God, I can't speak tonight. chassis braces got loose, and they always seem to do, even if I put Loctite on those things, they always end up working themselves loose. But the Typhon is fully ready to go again. Went over everything else, and man, guys, you know, I think if a chassis could talk, this thing would definitely have some things to say. I mean, that is one deep gouge in there, and she just continues to rock and roll. The M2C chassis, guys, just hold up phenomenal. Absolutely love them. And this thing is pretty much fully M2C'd out for the most part. Got the shock towers, all the chassis braces, the chassis motor mount setup. It's got the shock standoffs on here, numerous other things. I am going to have to get another set of tires for this because this back tire has got a really nasty wobble. And I first thought it was the hex or something had gotten, you know, twisted out of place, but it actually bent the rim down here on the inside. So it's just got a weird wobble, but she still drives. But the Typhon, all ready to go for its next bash. Guys, it's been a while since I've been down here in the basement, honestly, fixing the cars. You know, I've been down here doing a lot of stuff with the planes, as you guys know, and I've been out for a few bashes recently, finally again, and having a lot of fun breaking some stuff and just enjoying some shop time down here, getting the stuff fixed back up again. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. But I guess, unfortunately, it's time to move on to the Techno because we got to change out the whole front diff and we got to fix a shock standoff. Not too terrible, but on the Technos, they're actually a little bit easier. I'll show you. So this is how I pull the front end off the Techno. Rather than pulling out all this other stuff in the front or having to disconnect a lot of linkages or pull your steering block out of here, I just take off each one of the arms on the top here, the one on each side, and then that completely frees up once these two screws are out, which are actually busted out on this. You pull those two screws and those two links, and then your 4 screws underneath, and your whole entire front will come off of here. Not too hard. There's many ways you can do it. Honestly, this is just how I pull it apart. But we're going to go ahead and take this thing off real quick and get this thing changed out so it's got some support up front again. By the way, if you're looking for part numbers, here is the differential case number for the Techno, ET48 2.0. And then also I got some shock rod ends because these ones, I've used the armors on here to pinch, but these ones have the little hole in the side that the screw locks into to lock everything all together at the end so it doesn't pop apart like the armors can. So it's kind of a nice little feature. All right, we got the whole front end off of it here. And as you can see, there's where it ripped the whole screws out of the top of the bulkhead. I don't know if the bulkhead's damaged anywhere else besides that, but obviously it's got no support on the top without that, so we got to change it out. Well, before I get into tearing the whole front apart on that thing, figured I'd change out my shock rod end on the back end here. And also, looks like I've been losing some fluid, so got to clean this thing up, check the fluid on it also. And also, a couple of my top camber links and stuff like that are loose, so I got to go over pretty much every screw on this thing. Amazing what a little parts cleaner will do. But this is what I'm talking about for any of you that might not be familiar with the Technos. The shock rod end here actually screws to the bottom spring retainer, so it all holds together as one piece, so that basically this can't push up and your spring can't pop off. Definitely a nice little design. All right, we got the rear shock in there. We got everything, new shock rod under there. Got it filled back up with oil. Got it nice and tight. Hopefully she doesn't leak anymore. The shock cap was kind of loose. Mustn't have tightened up very well the last time, but the rest of the car is ready to rock and roll. Well, let's go ahead and change out the front. Getting her all torn apart here so far. I got the new one set up with the rear brace mounted up, ready to go. Got the rest of the bits and pieces out. All I got to do is pull out the screws for the front tower brace, and it should let loose, and I can go ahead and transfer everything over, get the new one in there. All right, well, we got the rear diff out of here, and as you can see, they're backwards from what you'd normally put in with an Arma. But good part is the front case is perfectly fine and no cracks or anything, so I don't have to transfer everything over for the front sway bar. So I can just go ahead, slap the diff and the input gear and everything on here, and she'll be ready to rock and roll. Got everything in the new one. That was nice and quick, but as you can see, this is what happened. One of the kind of first time I think that I can recall ever busting that, actually. Don't know when I did that or how. It was probably off that monster jump down the motocross track, just caused a little too much flex, and she gave up. Absolutely love how easy the Technos are to repair. I mean, everything just pops in and out. Really nicely designed cars. If you don't own one, definitely highly suggest picking one up. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up real quick, get the nose cone put on, and get this mounted up in a car, and I'll bring you guys back when we're completely finished. We've got everything bolted back up again. We've got the new front diff case in there. Got the shock rod end fixed, got the shock filled up, and went over that thing, and I went over every screw on this thing. I think I finally got everything tight. So, yep, actually I got to tighten that up. Hold on one second. All right, now everything's tight. Checked over the rest of all the screws on here. Everything looks like they're in pretty good shape. So, the Techno, ready to rock again. Also, feels good to finally get all the cars fixed up. I've been gone. It's been really busy with work, guys, so it's kind of been a mixture of things going on. Doing a lot of flying, a lot of work. So hasn't been as much bashing going on. And like I told you guys before, I was kind of taking a little bit of a chill with the cars, so I wasn't getting totally burned out. And the last couple bash, been having a lot of fun again, and just kind of mixing it up between the cars and the planes and just having a good time. And I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that come out. But that's going to do it for today. We got everything fixed up. All the cars are ready for the next bash. We got some nice weather coming up here, actually, in the next couple of days. So hopefully we'll head up for another bash. But that's going to do it for today. So until next time, y'all be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.